We're driving on the Accra-Tema Motorway, which connects to the N1 highway, a major highway in this country that links the port of Tema to neighboring countries, facilitating trade between Ghana and these countries. However, when you move from the toll booths, either on the Accra end or the Tema end, what you see is pitch darkness. This is posing a serious danger to motorists, passengers, pedestrians, drivers who ply this particular stretch, and indeed lives are being lost largely to the absence of functioning street lights. If all drivers on this particular stretch should turn off their headlights, this is what you see: total darkness. Several lives have been lost as a result of this particular problem, coupled with the potholes that are on the motorway, and of course the speedy nature of some drivers who drive on this particular road. The danger is very, very clear, and it is indeed very, very important that this issue of malfunctioning or non-functioning street lights on the Accra-Tema Motorway is addressed as a matter of urgency. On this edition of the Citi Newsroom, we'll be speaking to users of this particular stretch. I'm talking the Accra-Tema Motorway. We'll speak to passengers, we'll speak to drivers, we'll speak to pedestrians as well on what they make of this situation of pitch darkness in the absence of functioning street lights. This is the Citi Newsroom. We're currently at the Ashaman overhead, which serves as a drop-off and pick-off point for some passengers or individuals who might want to board a car to Accra. We're going to engage them as well and find out what they make of the current darkness on the Accra-Tema Motorway. And so I have with me one gentleman. I'm going to go straight to him and find out what his thoughts are on this particular situation.
Actually, this motorway without light is a death trap. It's very dangerous, especially this area. Now, when you drive from here to the end of the motor roundabout, the Tekwashi roundabout, you will not see any street light. It is very bad. Something should be done about it, so that the travelers will be safe on this road. So, if something is done about the street light, it will be well for everybody. It will ward off those criminals who are attacking people when their vehicles fall on the way, those who are attacking. If the street lights are there, I don't think they'll be doing those things. You know, street lights scare criminals away. When there is darkness, they will operate. If there's no darkness, they can't operate. So we are pleading that the government should do something about it for us, because we are paying tolls.
How often do you use the motorway?
Oh, every day. I work at Community 11 Traffic Light ECG office. That's why I'm doing my service.
Right. So you use the motorway every day. Have you witnessed an accident before?
Oh, many. I could see that sometimes I'm not there, but sometimes the thing will happen before I will come there. But sometimes I've seen a lot.
So you drive on the Accra-Tema Motorway every day?
Every day.
Yes. But what do you make of the situation, the absence of functioning street lights?
Also, what we find it difficult sometimes is when it rains. There are no street lights, and when it rains on the motorway, when your light is on, it flash up. So like you won't see anything. And we've been going day in, day out. Accidents have been happening. People find it difficult to drive at night just because of street lights. So it's a difficult thing. It's very tough, and we don't know what they are doing as of now, because they also use the motorway as well. So. It's very difficult, very difficult.
Tell us what happens when a pedestrian is crossing and you're unable to see the person.
Let me give you a scenario. Like, just after the bridge, the Ajekojo under bridge, yeah, they used to cross. Even around 11, 12, they used to cross. And when you are coming at a tall speed, as for me, I know people used to pass around. So when I get there, I slow. What of somebody who doesn't know? You won't see.
Now, although a larger stretch of the motorway still remains dark, there appears to be some respite for motorists, as our cameras earlier today captured some workers of Preference Engineering. Now, the information we are picking up is that they are under the instructions of the Ghana Highway Authority to do some repair works on broken down street lights or non-functioning street lights close to the toll booth at the Accra end of the motorway. And so we're going to pick the thoughts of drivers who are direct beneficiaries of these street lights on what they make or how much of a relief this is to them, having the street lights on the Accra end of the motorway fixed. Street lights at this particular end have been fixed. How much of a relief is this to you?
Oh, in fact, you can see some of our workers are still working and they are comfortable working, not being afraid of criminals and all that. So I think we are direct beneficiaries of it. Yeah.
Now, prior to the lights being fixed, what were some of the challenges you were experiencing?
Oh, the pedestrians, like the hawkers around, they get closer to the booth, so much close. But with the lighting system and the traffic, they are able to go far there without being heckled by the criminals.
I think the street light being fixed is very important. It's because here is the toll booth. It's the security-wise. It's something that has prevented the criminals to come closer, and then also the people are not afraid. Even you can see here is a town. People come to join bus to their destination after the end of the day work activities. So I think the street light has also relieved the people being fear, and then the activities and then business are going on well. Unlike when the place was dark, we see the criminals trying to come around the toll booths, and then that may even cause a loss to some of the properties that belongs to government, and then I think it is good.
It's been a long time since we've had this, so we just pray it lasts.
But prior to this, what were some of the dangers or challenges you were facing because of that?
You never know if somebody is in the bush somewhere, wants to attack you. You will never know. So, and sometimes some of the cars are also not well lighted. So at the end of the day, the car in front of you does not have light, but now we have light, so we will see clearly.
Right. So how is the feeling like? How much of a relief is this?
What can we say? We pray it's not the one-day wonder. That's all.
Going forward, we are still in a mess, and we always have these complaints. Recently, we saw that on the after the runabout from the runabout to Dowenya, they had it done, and that was very pleasant. But after a couple of months, it's gone off again, and it is very, very distressing for us motorists, because sometimes not everybody has the same vision.
But some of these challenges are attributed to thefts, that when the lights are fixed, some thieves also go ahead to steal these things. What do you make of this?
I think you always have it. It's everywhere within the world, but nevertheless, I think the responsible authorities or agencies should be more enforcing the law and keep the forces or task forces to ensure that these are not done. And when they are broken down, the maintenance should be quickly, so that they see that it's working. When people see that it's working, they won't touch it. But if it's not working, it's been abandoned, and the guys will just have it as their treasure island, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. So yes, drivers or motorists on this particular stretch expressing some relief, some joy at the sight of street lights on this particular stretch. This should have been a normal happening. This should have been a typical situation on the Accra-Tema Motorway. But however, or unfortunately, due to the long period of darkness on this stretch, drivers appear very, very elated to see light. It is the expectation that the entire stretch will be fixed, and then street lights will be dotted on this stretch all the way from Accra to Tema.